The November rain drummed softly on Portland streets, turning puddles into mirrors of amber light. Inside Mabel's grill, warmth glowed through fog windows. The diner had stood for 30 years. Red vinyl booths, checkerboard floors, and a faint smell of coffee and onions lingering like memory. At a corner booth sat Leo Carter, 36, wearing a faded HVAC work uniform. His calloused hands rested flat on the table beside a half-eaten plate of meatloaf. He was a man who'd learned to live with quiet, a widower of 3 years, raising his 8-year-old son, Evan, alone. Tonight, Evan stayed with a neighbor so Leo could work late. He told himself this was life now. Wake early, work hard, make dinner, help with homework, sleep, repeat. But sitting there, watching families laugh around him, he felt the emptiness gnaw. The ache of solitude was louder than the jazz humming from the old speaker. The door jingled. A woman stood dripping rainwater onto the tile. Her gray coat clung to her thin frame. Strands of damp blonde hair stuck to her cheeks. She held the hand of a boy, maybe 6, his hollow eyes darting around with hunger and uncertainty. She approached the counter, spoke softly to the teenage waiter. Leo couldn't hear, but he saw the boy's restless shifting, saw the waiter's apologetic shake of the head, saw the woman's shoulders sag. When she turned toward the door, Leo caught the look in her eyes, a mother's desperation, the kind that comes when pride and hunger collide. He'd seen that look in his own reflection once, after his wife died, when bills piled up and he'd stood in grocery aisles counting coins. Her name was Callista Monroe, 32, an accountant once, until her firm collapsed overnight. No warning, no severance. Her supervisor vanished, and with him her promotion and savings. Eviction followed. The car broke down. Her son, Noah, got sick. Pride kept her from begging, but pride couldn't fill a child's stomach. So, with her last $17 spent on a motel room, she walked into Mabel's that night and did the hardest thing she'd ever done. She approached Leo's booth, voice trembling. "Sir, my son's hungry. Can we stay? Just for a little while." Leo looked up at the gaunt woman, at the boy trying so hard not to look desperate. For a moment, the world around him faded. His wife's voice echoed in memory. "You have a good heart, Leo. Don't let the world make you forget that." He slid his plate toward them. "Sit down," he said softly. "We'll share." Callista froze. Noah's eyes widened. "Really?" the boy whispered. "Really?" Leo said, smiling. He waved the waiter over. Another plate, and a bowl of soup for the kid. Hot chocolate, too. They ate quietly. Noah's hand shook as he lifted a spoon, savoring every bite like it might vanish. Tears slipped down Callista's cheeks. Leo looked away to give her privacy, pretending to study the rain. "Cold night," he said gently. "Good night for soup." "Thank you," she whispered. "You didn't have to." "It's just food," he said, but they both knew it was more. It was dignity. When the meal ended, Noah leaned against his mother, eyelids heavy. Callista murmured, "I don't know how to thank you." "You don't have to," Leo replied. "What's your name?" "Callista Monroe. And this is Noah." "Leo Carter," he said, shaking her trembling hand. Outside, the rain fell harder. Leo saw the boy shiver and the holes in Callista's shoes. He made a decision. "My truck's outside," he said. "Let me drive you home." She wanted to refuse, but Noah's weary eyes decided for her. "Thank you," she said softly. The truck was old but warm. Noah fell asleep between them as they drove toward the cheap motel Leo already guessed was their destination. At the door marked 7, Callista thanked him again. "For seeing us," she said. The phrase hit him like a weight. Seeing them, as if they'd been invisible until now. That night, Leo couldn't sleep. He kept seeing Noah's cautious bites, Callista's shaking hands. By morning, he'd made another decision. After work, he stopped at a grocery store and filled 2 bags. Bread, milk, cereal, peanut butter. He drove back to the motel. She looked stunned when she opened the door. "Leo, you didn't have to." "I know," he said, holding out the bags. "But I wanted to." Her eyes filled with tears. Behind her, Noah gasped. "Is that for us?" "Yeah, buddy." Leo smiled. "For you." Noah hugged his mother's leg, grinning for the first time Leo had seen. Callista whispered, "Why are you doing this? You don't even know us." "I know what it's like," Leo said quietly, "to need help and not know where to find it. When my wife died, strangers helped me. Maybe this is me paying it forward." After a long pause, she said, "Would you like to come in?" The room was small, 2 beds, peeling wallpaper, but tidy. Noah proudly showed him his crayon truck drawings taped to the wall. Leo asked questions, genuinely interested. The boys' laughter filled the room. Callista made instant coffee, and the 3 of them sat talking about nothing important, yet everything that mattered. When Leo left an hour later, he realized for the first time in years he didn't feel so alone. In the days that followed, he kept visiting. He brought more food, fixed a heater, took them to the park where Evan met Noah. The boys became instant friends. Callista and Leo talked while the kids played, about lost jobs, debts, grief. Friendship grew quietly, cautiously, 2 people mending at their own pace. Callista found a part-time grocery job, enough to move into a small apartment. Leo helped her carry boxes, the boys supervising with toy trucks. For a while, life felt almost good again, until gossip ruined it. A nosy neighbor saw Callista's car at Leo's house too often and decided she was after his money. The rumors spread fast. Leo's boss called him in. "Customers are talking. Keep your personal life quiet or it becomes my business." Leo went home furious. Callista saw the look on his face and understood. "I should go," she said. "No, people are idiots. Let them talk. You could lose your job, Leo. I can't let that happen. I don't care what they say." "I do," she whispered. "You've done enough for us." That night, after dinner, she packed. Before dawn, she left a note. "Thank you for reminding me kindness still exists. I'm sorry for the trouble. Please don't try to find us." When Leo found the empty apartment the next morning, he felt something inside him break. Evan cried for his lost friend. The house felt emptier than ever. Days blurred into each other, until the news report 10 days later. Multiple arrests in the Harrington Group embezzlement case today. Key witness Callista Monroe provided critical evidence. Leo's heart stopped. The screen showed her, thinner, scared, but standing strong outside a courthouse. He was in his truck before he could think. At the courthouse, reporters swarmed her, shouting accusations. Leo shoved through the crowd and stood between her and the cameras. "Back off," he said fiercely. "She didn't steal anything. She survived." Reporters hesitated. Leo guided her inside, away from the chaos. "You shouldn't have come," Callista said, trembling. "You'll just make more gossip." "I don't care about gossip," Leo said. "I care about you. Why did you leave?" "Because the FBI contacted me. They needed me to testify. I didn't want to drag you into it." "You were trying to protect me?" Leo laughed softly. "You're risking everything to put real criminals away, and you're worried about me?" She looked at him, confused. "Why do you care so much?" "You're not nothing," he said. "You and Noah, you became something that night in the diner. My life felt empty until you walked in." Tears filled her eyes. "They cleared me. I have a job offer in Seattle, but I have to stay for the trial." "Then stay with us," Leo said. "What?" "You and Noah. I have space. No strings. Just safety. People will talk. Let them," Leo said. "I'm done caring what they think." She studied him for a long time, then nodded. "Okay, but I'm paying rent." "Deal," he said, smiling. The next morning, Leo cleared out the spare room. He washed the sheets, fixed the window latch, even set Evan's old lamp on the nightstand. When Callista and Noah arrived with 2 duffel bags, it felt right, like the missing piece of something that had always been meant to fit. Noah ran straight to Evan's room, their laughter echoing down the hall. Callista stood awkwardly by the doorway. "You really don't have to do this," she said quietly. "Neither did you when you trusted me that night at the diner," Leo replied. "But you did, so now it's my turn." She smiled faintly. "You make it sound simple." "It is," he said. "Sometimes the right things are." Weeks passed. Their lives blended naturally, not forced, just comfortable. Mornings began with burnt toast and mismatched mugs. Evenings ended with movies on the couch. Kids asleep between them. Callista cooked. Leo fixed things. She teased him about his coffee obsession. He teased her about talking to plants. Slowly, something fragile began to heal in both of them. But the trial loomed. Callista's testimony could send her former boss, a powerful executive named Charles Harrington, to prison. She was terrified, not for herself, but for Noah. One night, as she reviewed her statement at the kitchen table, Leo brought her tea. "You'll be fine," he said gently. "He threatened me once, Leo," she whispered. "Said if I ever spoke up, I'd lose everything. Then he's about to find out you can't scare someone who's already lost everything." She looked up, her eyes glistening. "I wish I were as brave as you think I am." He smiled. "You already are." The trial was brutal. Defense lawyers painted her as a disgruntled ex-employee. Reporters twisted her words. But Leo sat in the gallery every day, steady as a mountain. When the verdict finally came, guilty on all counts, Callista cried in relief. She'd cleared her name. Reporters surrounded her outside the courthouse again. But this time, Leo stood beside her, hand at her back. Cameras flashed, and for once, she didn't hide. She smiled and said, "Some people still believe in doing the right thing. I just follow their lead." Afterward, the world quieted. She declined the Seattle job, deciding Noah needed stability more than a fresh city. She took an accounting position at a local firm instead. One evening, the four of them, Callista, Noah, Leo, and Evan, went back to Mabel's Grill, the diner where it had all begun. The same teenage waiter, now older, recognized her. "Hey, you're the lady from before," he said. "You and the kid, you're doing okay now." She smiled warmly. "Better than okay." They sat in the same booth. The kids argued over who'd get the last fry. Leo laughed. For the first time in years, Callista saw what peace looked like. Not in wealth or perfection, but in belonging. As the night wound down, Leo leaned forward. "Callista, there's something I want to say before I lose a nerve." She looked up, startled by the seriousness in his tone. "These last months, they've been the best part of my life since Emily passed." Her face softened. "She was your wife." He nodded. "Yeah, she taught me what love was. And you reminded me what it means to live again." Her breath caught. "Leo, I'm not asking for anything," he said quickly. "Just letting you know that you matter. You and Noah, you're part of our family now, whether or not you stay here." Tears filled her eyes. "I don't want to leave," she whispered. He smiled, relief flooding his face. "Then don't." She reached across the table, taking his hand. Their fingers intertwined naturally, as if they'd been doing it for years. Outside, the rain began to fall again, soft, steady, familiar. Months later, on a bright spring morning, the diner was decorated with sunflowers and white ribbons. The closed for private event sign hung in the window. Inside, family and friends gathered, not for a corporate fair or courtroom scene, but for a small, quiet wedding. Leo stood at the front, adjusting his tie nervously. Evan stood beside him, proud as ever. When the door opened and Callista walked in, wearing a simple cream dress and holding Noah's hand, every conversation stopped. Leo's breath hitched. She was extravagant, but she was radiant, real. As she reached him, he whispered, "You sure about this?" She smiled through tears. "I was sure the moment you handed me your plate of meatloaf." The room laughed softly. They exchanged vows written by hand. Hers shaky but full of truth, his plain but from the heart. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, the kids cheered loudest of all. That night, after everyone left, Leo and Callista stayed behind to clean up. The neon diner sign buzzed softly overhead. "Funny," Leo said, wiping the counter. "This place started everything." Callista looked around, smiling. It did. A diner, a storm, a stranger's kindness. He slipped his arms around her. "Guess it wasn't just kindness," he said quietly. "It was fate." She leaned her head on his chest. "No, Leo, it was choice. You chose to see us when no one else did." Outside, the rain glistened on the empty street, just as it had that first night. Only now it wasn't cold or lonely. It was a sound of something beginning, not ending. And as the lights dimmed, two boys' laughter echoed from the booth in the back, the same one where everything had changed forever.